Your Excellencies, guests from the Government of the Republic of the Philippines, representatives of partner business associations, representatives from embassies, development partners, and academia, fellow members of foreign chambers of commerce, our website viewers in the Philippines and around the world, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is John Casey, and I am the President of the Australia-New Zealand Chamber of Commerce. Today is an auspicious day, not just for Arangkada, but for Australia. For those who may not know, today is Australia's National Day. This day also commemorates the arrival, thank you. This day also commemorates the arrival of the first fleet to Sydney Harbour in 1788 and the proclamation of British sovereignty over that small piece of land. In the short life of Arangkada Philippines, today represents a further milestone, its first anniversary. And it is my privilege to welcome you to this important forum and assessment of Arangkada. I'm certain it will be a very productive day. It will be 2 years this coming April when the Joint Foreign Chambers presented the results of the work of 9 focus groups in which nearly 200 Philippine and foreign investors participated, the output of which included hundreds of recommendations, all aimed at generating sustained, rapid employment and GDP growth through investment in the 7 big winner industry sectors. The resulting publication, Arangkada Philippines, reflects a collective view that a much higher growth rate, which is sustained and inclusive, is the economic solution to alleviate poverty, to propel forward the Philippines and improve its competitive position in the global economy. Indeed, the National Competitive Council aims for the Philippines to be in the top 1/3 selected key indicators, including corruption perception, all aimed at sustaining directional change. We note the recent significant jump in the Philippines' ranking in a number of financial development and corruption perception indices, and we encourage strong continuing efforts for the Philippines to achieve its top 1/3 position. All of us recognize the overriding importance of permanently reducing corruption and applaud the government's efforts. The Joint Foreign Chambers fully supports the government's programs. As you may know, in partnership with other Philippines business groups, the JFC has launched the Integrity Initiative, which now has signed up over 1,000 businesses and organizations, including many who are here today. The Joint Foreign Chamber sees the Philippines as a high potential country, and the country now has a major opportunity to grow rapidly. Through the increase in investment in domestic and foreign direct investment, 2012 looks to be a higher growth year with estimates of 6% projected from the additional effects of the now fast-track rollout of government spending, PPPs, and private investment. But let me emphasize that we must pick up the pace of consistent foreign direct investment to sustain historically high economic growth. The Philippines has never achieved the levels of foreign direct investment that Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and Vietnam have achieved. In 2011, Indonesia had a 20% increase in FDI to $19.3 billion, while the Philippines remained below $4 billion in approvals and $1 billion in actual inflow. And while we can acknowledge this figure does not include some reinvestment from existing corporations here, FDI remains disappointing, and we run the risk that some lesser developed nations within the ASEAN region will receive higher levels of FDI than the Philippines. We are hopeful that the high level of Board of Investment approvals last year and the record inflow of $1 billion in foreign funds into the Philippine stock market in the last 2 months is indicative of increasing levels of FDI in 2012 and in the coming years. The Asian century is well underway, and the Philippines must elevate its position to benefit from the foreign investment opportunities in the 7 big winners that have been identified. All at a time when the impacts of multiple free trade agreements start to be felt across participating economies. As we progress through the morning, I would ask that we keep one basic question in mind. Are we in fact focusing on all and progressing all of the 7 big winning industry sectors, or a lesser number? Today's fast-paced program is self-explanatory, and you should have a copy of the agenda. Biographies of our speakers, moderators, and panelists are in your folders. After an early lunch, beginning at 11:30, we will be honored by an address from His Excellency President Benigno S. Aquino III. Mr. John Forbes, author of Arangkada Philippines, will shortly outline the purpose of the forum and provide an assessment of where we are relative to Arangkada's recommendations. I would now like to introduce our first 2 speakers. Ms. Gloria Steele is the Philippine Mission Director of the U.S. Agency for International Development, and she will present a message on mapping new directions for inclusive growth. We owe a special thank you to USAID for supporting the Arangkada project, including our forum today. Ms. Steele will be followed by Gregory Domingo, Secretary of the Department of Trade and Investment, and upon whose shoulders rides the awesome responsibility to generate high levels of growth in trade and investment. He will provide his opening remarks entitled, "The Role of Foreign Investment in the Philippine Economic Growth." Ms. Steele, may I ask you to come up to the stage? Thank you.